Good morning, guys. Today is a rainy day, as you can see outside. And today I'll be doing a study session because we have a summative quiz next week and another quiz next week. So there's a lot of quizzes for medical school. And right now I'll be studying. I just got out of the shower and I'll probably spend entire day studying. So yeah, I gotta have to put in the work. You know, as a medical student, it is important that you have to continuously study and learn, because you never know what might come up in the exams or when you're finally a doctor, when you're handling patients and all that. So it's a really good attitude to have, to actually start studying in advance, or just studying during your free time, and just try to think of like possible scenarios or possible questions that might come up, as well as like being prepared. And also, it's also important to not like overwork yourself, and also have time for hobbies and all that stuff. So I'll be seeing you in a study session. You can see I have my lunch here, which is chicken curry, and I think I'll be eating while watching one of these lectures. So yeah. Hi guys, so I just finished my review for the first half of Physio, because we're going to be having a departmental quiz on Monday at 8 a.m. So that's the Monday blues for me. And right now I'm also finished working on the Physio worksheet that we're going to be having a Physio conference on Tuesday, the next day after the quiz. So it's going to be a pretty hectic week next week, but I think I can manage. It just needs a bit of like time management and like discipline and all that. Pretty easy stuff, but it's really hard, really. Anyway, so I would like to order coffee in a bit, because I'll be having a break from studying. My friends are still in Discord studying, but I'm done because nothing's going into my brain right now. So I think I need a break, because I've been studying since morning. So right now, what I plan to talk about is like how I'm currently adjusting in medical school, because it's 1 month in and I still feel that I haven't adjusted completely. Medical school is really different from undergrad. It's like a whole new ball game, where in undergrad you can breeze through it, no problemo. But here in medical school, like every point counts, and you have to be studying every day. Well, that works for me because I've been studying every day since I started medical school. Like even on the weekends, or even during days where I don't feel like studying anything, I just try to read at least 1 or 2 pages of my notes and try to review them as much as I can, just to try and get as much information as I can get, even though I'm really tired or unmotivated, because I think that's the way you do it in medical school, where you just have to keep pushing yourself to your limits. When you reach your limit, you have to surpass your limits in order to become a really good doctor. Just one of my dreams. The other dream is owning a ramen restaurant. Anyway, but the thing is, medical school is very difficult. Very difficult. I came from a social science course in undergrad, which is BS Psychology, although it's a Bachelor of Science. It also took the BS Psychology pre-med track. So I had my experiences with the sciences as well. But it's really different, because everything I learned in psychology is not applicable at this moment in medical school, where we have anatomy, biochemistry, physiology, and some other minor subjects. But those three man, they're really interesting, but at the same time very difficult. I tried to focus more on my strengths, which is visual learning, like, and experiencing, where I try to learn by doing things. So yeah, also that, but I'm going off tangent. Medical school, the adjustment period, it's really tough. The first few weeks of medical school, it was really fun. It was really interesting. Although we only get to go to campus once a week, and that would be during gross anatomy lab, where we get to experience dissecting cadavers and like learning the anatomy of the human body, which is very interesting. It's one of my favorite subjects and one of the things that I look forward to every week. But now that we've reached September, the amount of face-to-face classes that we're having is increasing. So I think for now we're gonna have 2 face-to-face classes, which is gonna be on Tuesday and Wednesday. But that's the thing, it's starting to get a bit more hectic because the long exam season is coming up in 2 weeks, if I remember correctly. But I just have to really focus and try to study smart. Yes, I don't study hard, I study smart. I try to study which of the things that I lack knowledge in, and I try to compensate for that by doing well in the topics that I know more of. So for example, in anatomy, I know more about the histology part. So I try to compensate for that by trying to earn more points in the histology section, even though I get difficulty in the gross anatomy section, even though it's one of my favorite subjects in medical school. So another thing is that the adjustment period is that it's really fun, but at the same time it's very scary. It's starting to scare me because it's also pretty interesting to be studying in a well-renowned university or medical school. In my case, it's UERM. But the thing is, trying to live up to the expectations of other people is something that I try to get over, because for one, being a doctor is solely my responsibility, and trying to become a successful doctor is something that only I can control. And it's not the expectations of the other people, it's not the expectations of my friends, my family, but my own. Trying to live up to someone's expectation of you is, for me, not an ideal way to live your life. And trying to adjust to medical school with that in mind brings me comfort, knowing that I try to be more open about myself, and I try to be more accepting of what I experience and learn in medical school. And I think it's also not just learning about all these medical terms, these medical analogies and all that, but it's also a way for me to grow as a person, and it's trying to improve myself as well. Is aside from being a good student, aside from being a good son, a good friend, but also to be a good doctor in the future is something that I actually keep in my heart dearly, because I want to become someone who people can depend on, but at the same time, I want to be someone who I myself can depend on, where I can count on myself to be successful in whatever endeavor I choose to undergo. So trying to focus in medical school is difficult, especially when you're not used to it. I wasn't used to focusing that much, especially during undergraduate degree, because of the pandemic, where we had online classes, and online classes for me are the worst. I wasn't able to study properly. I wasn't able to study at all. But now that I'm trying to get back to the rhythm of like face-to-face classes, studying, I'm trying to get back into the rhythm that I was used to, and that was during in high school, where I was also studying a lot. Because in undergrad, it was a bit of a difficult time for me. But now in medical school, I've been trying my best to try and take it easy one day at a time. So I tried a lot of different things like scheduling and all that, and for me that doesn't work that much, because I try to be more spontaneous and I take things one day at a time, like literally. Like I just focus on what to do for today. Although I'm trying to incorporate some of what I learned from experimenting with other kinds of things, especially with scheduling and all that. But for now, for me it works. So if it ain't broke, don't fix it. So yeah, I think that's how I'm currently adjusting to medical school. It is difficult, yes, but it's important to not really dwell on the difficult part, but I'll also on the memories that you have created, like meeting new friends, having fun, because the end goal is to be a doctor, but it's about the journey, and enjoying the journey, I think, is one of the better ways to actually approach medicine, because it's a way of life for me, and it's also something that I want to instill in myself, that being a doctor is more than just knowing all these things, but it's also about developing as a person, being able to connect well with others, and all that stuff. So yeah, right now I think it's getting late in the afternoon. I have to be ordering coffee now, and I'm gonna be going back to my study session. So yeah. Okay, so remember when I said that I'll be ordering coffee for this afternoon for my coffee break? Well, turns out, look at that rain. It's a downpour. Earlier, it was like, I can't see the distance, but it's, I don't know. So I guess I'll just have to tell my delivery guy to just wait a bit until the rain eases up, and then he can deliver my items, because I don't want him to drive in that downpour, because that's really stressful. So I'll just tell him to just wait for a while and but I don't mind, so I just care for the safety of the driver, so yes. Hi guys, so I think I'm done for today. I've been studying a lot, and now I feel like nothing's entering my mind anymore, so if I don't feel like I can't learn anything, I don't push myself. I just call it a day. And so far it's been really productive, and it went well for me. So I think I'll continue studying tomorrow, and just taking it slowly, one step at a time, in order for me to really learn the lesson. And I think it's thanks to the coffee that I was able to focus. But I don't want to be dependent on coffee, but it's really cool and tasty and really good. So I think I'll be drinking coffee only when I need to, not all the time. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the life update about my adjustment to medical school, and as well as my simple, raw, and unfiltered study vlog. So yeah, I think that's it. It's been really nervous. I've been really nervous, like talking to the camera straight on with my face. So I hope you guys like this new change in how I film my videos. So yeah, I guess I'll see you in the next one.